From Heisman hero to NFL flameout. What really happened to Johnny Football? This isn't just a football story. It's a story of hype, chaos, and the dangers of flying too close to the sun. Because for a moment in time, Johnny Manziel wasn't just a quarterback, he was a phenomenon. Johnny Football, the kid who turned broken plays into miracles. The freshman who took down Nick Saban's Alabama. The rock star who made Saturdays feel like Hollywood. But here's the catch. The brighter the flame, the faster it burns out. And Johnny's flame didn't just flicker, it exploded and disappeared, leaving behind one of the wildest cautionary tales sports has ever seen. So how did a small-town Texas kid go from Heisman hero to NFL flameout in just a few years? Let's rewind. The story begins in Kerrville, Texas. A small town where Friday night lights shine brighter than anything else. Johnny was that kid who couldn't sit still, always competing, always showing off that raw confidence. Baseball, golf, basketball, he could play it all. But football, that was his stage. In high school, he was already a legend. He wasn't the tallest or strongest quarterback, but he had something different, Stinks. The ability to turn a busted play into a touchdown, to make defenders look like they were moving in slow motion. Coaches shook their heads in disbelief. Fans couldn't get enough. And recruiters, they knew they were watching someone special. When Texas A&M came calling, Johnny had his ticket, but nobody could have predicted what came next. At first, Johnny was just another freshman. Eric Serted sat on the bench, waited his turn. But inside the program, whispers started. There's this kid, he's shredding the defense in practice. Too quick, too slippery, too confident. And when 2012 arrived, Johnny finally stepped onto the field. What happened next? It was like a storm hit college football. That season, Johnny Football wasn't just good, he was unstoppable. Over 3,700 passing yards, over 1,400 rushing yards, 47 total touchdowns. He didn't just run plays, he created chaos. Collapsing pockets turned into highlight reels. Defenders were left grabbing at air. He played like the field was his backyard, and fans couldn't look away. Then came the night that changed everything. November 10th, 2012. Texas A&M versus Alabama. Nick Saban. The defending champs. A defense stacked with NFL talent. The Aggies weren't supposed to win, but Johnny had other plans. He scrambled, he juked, he threw darts. He made Alabama's fortress look fragile. A&M stunned the Crimson Tide 29-24. Overnight, Johnny Manziel wasn't just a quarterback. He was a phenomenon. Johnny Football was officially born, and then came history. Johnny became the first freshman ever to win the Heisman Trophy. The cameras, the lights, the fame it was all his. He was on magazine covers, late night shows, sitting courtside with NBA stars, partying with rappers. Everywhere he went, the spotlight followed. But here's the problem. When the spotlight never turns off, eventually, it burns. Johnny didn't just embrace the fame, he lived it. The money sign after touchdowns became his trademark. TMZ cameras caught him in clubs, popping bottles, living like a rock star. Allegations surfaced about him signing autographs for cash. The NCAA came knocking. The line between athlete and celebrity was gone. And while Johnny still delivered on the field, scouts started whispering, is he too reckless? Too small? Too distracted? But when the 2014 NFL draft arrived, the hype was impossible to ignore. On draft night, with the 22nd pick, the Cleveland Browns took a gamble. Johnny Football was headed to the NFL. And that's when everything changed. From the very beginning, things felt off. In preseason, Johnny flashed glimpses of the old magic. But when the games actually mattered, it all fell apart. The improvisation, the scrambling hit, didn't work against NFL defenses. What looked like chaos in college turned into sacks, interceptions, and frustration. And off the field, the circus was louder than ever. Johnny missed team meetings, showed up latte. Reports surfaced of him showing up hungover. Worse, TMZ posted endless clips of him partying, and then came the infamous Vegas incident. After skipping a team meeting, Johnny showed up in a casino wearing a blonde wig, a fake mustache, and calling himself Billy. This wasn't a franchise quarterback. This was a franchise nightmare. Fans turned on him. Coaches gave up, and after just 2 seasons, the Browns cut him loose. Johnny Manziel, the Heisman hero, the legend of Texas A&M, was out of the NFL before his 24th birthday. But the story doesn't stop there. Johnny tried to fight his way back. He signed with the CFL. He joined the Alliance of American Football. He even played in fan-controlled football, but the spark was gone. The discipline wasn't there. The magic had faded. Behind the scenes, the truth was darker than anyone realized. Johnny admitted later that he was battling substance abuse, struggling with depression, drowning in the pressure of fame. The parties, the bravado, the endless headlines, they were all covering up real pain. In raw interviews, Johnny revealed he had hit rock bottom. He even admitted he thought about ending it all. Suddenly, the story wasn't about a failed quarterback. It was about a young man lost in a storm he never knew how to navigate. So, what really happened to Johnny Football? It wasn't just bad throws or bad choices. It was everything. Fame at 19, with no roadmap. A culture that celebrated his swagger, but ignored his struggles. Personal demons that grew louder than the cheers. Today, Johnny isn't chasing the NFL anymore. Instead, he's reflecting on the highs and lows, owning his mistakes, searching for peace outside the game. Some fans call him football's biggest what if. Others still remember him as the most exciting college quarterback they ever saw, but no one forgets him. Because Johnny Football was unforgettable. The rise and fall of Johnny Manziel isn't just about football, it's about fame, pressure, and how quickly it can all slip away. From Kerrville to the Heisman stage, from NFL draft night to the sidelines, from stardom to rock bottom, Johnny Football was the brightest star college football had ever seen. But sometimes, the brightest stars burn out the fastest.